This is just a video on my Outrun mod. I'll show powering on and some buttons and outputs I added to it. So it's basically stock. Changed the buttons, color. I did a white star button in red. Playback buttons. I think it looks a little cleaner that way. I changed the buttons out to clicky. I'm a big fan of clicky. Same thing with the shifter here. Clicks now, as well as this button. On the J panel, I have a coin button, which you can barely see. The power button is right there. And then I have a USB port headphone jack added right there. So if I hit the power button here, my coin button lights up and the cabinet starts up. Cabinet's running PC. It's a 4th or 5th generation i5 with a really old GTX 400 series, but it runs everything I need to pretty well. Running on an SSD that boots reasonably quick. It'll get to the desktop, and then I have it running in attract mode, which is probably going to start here pretty loud. Or actually, it looks like I have the volume switch off. Give it a few more seconds, and we're in attract mode. Attract mode is a different front end you can run versus like Launchbox. I like this. It's a little more lightweight. It's clean. I've been doing emulation for a number of years, and this is how old front ends used to run for me, so it makes sense for me. You basically just link each one to an emulator. I guess that's how Launchbox works as well, but it's just, for me, it's a lot easier. Let's take a look here. So I have it set up so that the playback buttons will skip a game. Also the shifter and the steering wheel. Shifter and steering wheel. Steering wheel actually is kind of weird. It's analog control, so it doesn't work as nicely as if I hit the button here and I switch games. Everything you see here is all done by me, so I get all my ROMs. I don't do an image. I make my own. I find the games I want. The logos that you see up in the corner, those are all scraped from Google Images by me, looking for PNGs. The gameplay videos that you see are all recorded by me using the built-in Windows 10 recorder. Took a lot of time. Everything's all custom by me. And let's take a look here. So say I want to start up Crazy Taxi. I get on the game and I have it so the start button starts it. I wired mine up so that way the on-off switch will control the speakers, and then the volume switch still controls the volume here. The reason I did it that way is because when you plug in headphones, if you plug into the front panel, it recognizes that there's headphones and it'll automatically mute the speakers. But because I have to use an extension for that piece down at the J panel, it recognizes that it's always plugged in. So basically it's always going to mute the speakers. So I just had to use a Y splitter. So I can plug in headphones at any time, but the problem is the speakers stay on, which kind of defeats the purpose. So I have this as an on-off switch for the speakers. I'll turn this down a few and I'll show you. You turn it on. So switch turns on. Switch turns off, gets the speakers off. I'll plug in some headphones and play that way so I don't bother my family here. Let's see, so we'll push start here and it'll launch. All the games I run are actual arcade ROMs. I didn't want anything that wasn't an arcade ROM. I didn't want anything that was wrong aspect ratio. I kind of cheated. There were a couple games that I just had to do it.
Come on over, have some fun with Crazy Taxi.
Hydro Thunder being one of them. Turn this down a sec. And then I really am a fan of the Initial D games, and those are all widescreen. So the aspect ratio is correct. I just have giant black bars, but it still plays pretty well. So you can see right here, got the actual arcade ROM running, not the Dreamcast version. You can insert coins. If I go down here, you can see my coin button. So what I'll do, so I'll insert a coin. Wants one more coin. Insert. Press start.
Go ahead and pick a car and driver.
And we are off. Steering wheel works. So I have it so when you push the start and coin button together, it'll back out of the whatever ROM you're in, and then you can get back to the front end and pick a different ROM. I'll do some gameplay if anybody's interested. Thanks, bye.